welcome to Human Animal Audit Corner, where everyone in the outside world is waiting for all you who are in Scientology. The SPTV Foundation, which is at 727-266-5797, and the NJR Aftermath Foundation at 1-888-3002, and in the UK 0800-090-3372. Now they have monetary aid for you when you leave Scientology. Now that aid is specially for you. But what do I have for you? You know what? I am in my kitchen today. And I will be cooking up a couple of lentils for you. And I'll be making Syrian bread right after I'm through with those. So, let's get cooking. All right. First, we're going to need a saucepan, so let me get it. All right, here's my saucepan. Of course, I have to have it right here. Now, we are going to make, I think, the black lentils first. So, let me get that. Let's see. A pack of lentils. Or maybe I should have measured it, but nah, it's okay. All right, so we're going to stick in the lentils. And this is where I get my youthful appearance. I eat stuff like tofu, lentil. It's where it is great for you. All right. Now, let's see. I am going to put, looks like 4 cups of water. Let me get it. In the lentils, we're going to boil it up. All right, there we go. Now, I am questioning this. But guess what? I'm not. So this is fine. Okay. And I use this big measuring cup to measure the water. Usually I use this for all my liquids if it's more than a certain amount. All right. Now, we are going to put we're going to put in 3 shallots. So let me get it. I'm just going to just dump it in here. So get my 3 shallots. This would equal a big, large onion. So, and let me get food processor. All right. I'm going to plug this in. Of course, I know I told you before this was, I guess, in my father's will when my brother and my sister-in-law divided up his stuff, and I got some of his stuff. So, all right, so we're going to move this here for now. All right, so off the top. All right. Now, we are, let me get my cutting board. Okay, just dead silence, okay. Well, I'm trying to get this onion peel off. Now, according to Tony Ortega and Chris Shelton, I've been talking about it for a while, that Scientology is opening an org in Puerto Rico. I know I mentioned it sooner. And they said it's gonna open tomorrow. So, yeah, isn't that a piece of cake? They're dwindling in numbers, and yet they waste their time building in another org. So, yeah, tomorrow they're building up that org. And so it's going to open tomorrow. So you know what? It's beyond me that they're wasting their time opening these orgs when they know their numbers dwindling, and that I know that place is going to end up empty. And this I am cutting up and putting it in there so I won't cry any tears. So, and this is a shallot, but it looks like it's the giant red onion. It's maybe similar, but at the same time, it looks like a regular onion, but I don't think it is. So, okay, so let me get this off as quick as I can. All right. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What is a girl to do? Okay. Yeah. From a person who actually, they're wasting their time opening up that org. So it's just going to sit there empty. And I think David Miscavige knows it. So as their numbers dwindling, they're making more orgs, which is definitely not needed since nobody's joining. And as you see, it's not going to happen. They are not going to go up in numbers. They're going to continue to dwindle. So guess what, Scientology? Truth came out. You're a cult. Yeah, believe it or not, I even thought, they're a religion. No, they're not. They're a cult. But at first, I was behind it, but when the truth comes out and there's proof that you're evil, that's up to it. But yeah, Scientology is a cult, not a religion. Now, the kind of cult they're in is a Ponzi scheme. It's a business, not a religion, and they would continue to hide behind the Fourth Amendment. Isn't that a hoot? And oh boy. Come on. Yeah, they keep fighting the lost cause, which is Scientology, and one of the people that keep fighting for the lost cause is Giovanni Ribisi. He keeps saying that people keep criticizing his religion. It's not a religion, it's a Ponzi scheme. And it was proven again and again. And throughout the years, people, old members are coming out and saying, no, we've been tortured. We've been treated like slaves, and we are slaves. We were indigent indigent servants. And oh my gosh. Okay. All right. And I'm going to put more onions in later in my red lentils. Okay. And one of the people he's criticizing is Leah Remini for having the Aftermath show, in which she had a right to have and talk about the experience she had in Scientology. She was in there when she was 9. She did not have much of a choice. She was a child when she joined unconscious. Well, her mother really joined, but she was there 30 years before leaving in 2000. I think it was 2012, 2013. And she was there for one of Danny Masterson's victims, which he ended up finding guilty of those charges, and now he's serving time in prison, which he most likely belongs. So I bet you he'll have his next appeal denied. You keep your fingers crossed and hope that he does. I know he's not going to, well, I'm confident that he's not going to get that appeal. He's a rapist. He belongs in prison. Speaking of which, L. Ron Hubbard, as you can tell, you know that he's a plagiarist. One of the materials he plagiarized off of was the Gnostics, who wrote the Bible years ago. Their meanings are, but at the same time, they're taking things out of the Bible. And of course, there was a person that passed away and came back, and he said that Jesus had told them that is not the way I saw everything. That those were not my visionaries. That's not what I hoped for. And this is coming from an atheist. I guess he must be a former atheist. That's what he says. And he came back from the dead. I don't know what brought him back. Let me see. Did he come back when they were trying to revive him? And yeah, who knows? Okay. And guess what, everybody? The onion is good for the cold, because what happens? You start tearing up, and whatever's inside of your nose will just come out. So this is great to have for a cold, believe it or not. Where did I get this? Oh boy, I got this information years ago, but I'll look it up and tell you. Yeah, it's great for a cold because it just loosens up. I think it just loosens up whatever is in your system. Okay. But I'll look it up, but that's what I got for my source of information. Okay. Now, here we go. Yeah, I decided to put in another 2/3. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to let it cook on low to medium heat. All right, so where is that? Okay, here we go. I'm going to chop it up in a food processor right now. Okay. All right. So, are we all present? The work was actually out of the Bible? No, he plagiarized. Yes, L. Ron Hubbard plagiarized out of the books. And what else did he actually plagiarize from? I don't know. But he was going around also saying that Jesus was a lover of little boys. I mean, this guy was, he had serious mental health issues. He ran around uncorked. He was actually, that he was laughed out of a room because of that stupid e-meter. And the e-meter is continuing to be used all through today. It doesn't really help anyone. And according to Aaron Smith-Levin, those are one of the tools that give people cancer when people touch the cans. The radiation goes right onto the hands. The chemicals, anyway. All right. There we go. Oh, my goodness. All right. So now we're going to put, where's my, oh my gosh. Then we're going to put in 1/3 teaspoon of salt. Let me get that. Okay, this is the 1/3. So we're going to put in 1/3 of salt. But if you can't have the salt, then don't bother putting it. It's not a problem if you don't have salt in there. Oh, geez. Okay. So I'm just going to put half of this back. So there's already some that landed in there, so I have to take out the rest. So, all right. Black lentil. 4 cups of water. Got that. But I put a little bit more in. I put 2/3 more in because some of the water has to be in there. Not loose, but it has to thicken. So, okay. Now, put this back in. All right. Let's see here. All right, now we're going to put this, let me stir this up first. Okay. There we go. I'm going to mix up the lentil and the onions and the salt together. But if the doctor says you can't have the salt, don't use it. Okay. All right, stir this around. Okay, and then I'm going to put in here And then we're gonna put it on low to medium heat. So we're gonna turn this on. So we're gonna turn it on 4.5, and then we're gonna let it cook up. Okay. Let me get rid of these. Now, okay. Yeah, and he also, Giovanni Ribisi, did I mention? Yes, he kept criticizing Leah Remedy for making money off the show. Now, she does have the legal right to make money off of this, but her and Mike Rinder got paid. Everybody else on the show did it. They just voluntarily told their story, which is fine, but they weren't very reimbursed. So, is it a sad thing? I have mixed feelings about it. Now, I would say if people need help, then yeah, fit the bill. Because those people walked out of that HE double hockey sticks place, and they suffered. So maybe they should, but you know what? There's no whole lot I can do. So see. Yeah, maybe I should. So, oh gosh. It's 1 cup, 2/3 of burgle. Okay, where's the 2/3? And we're in 31 minutes. Okay. Let's see here. First, we're going to put in cups of water. Let's see. 3.5 cups of water. So let me get that. Okay, there we go. So we're going to take this, put it in there. Just pour it in. Okay. And we're going to let it boil, even though it's a better idea to just have the water boil first and then put the lentils in. Okay. So this is a vegetarian lentil burger. It's going to be red lentils. Okay. And then, once I have this boiled, I'm going to turn off the heat and then let the lentils sit with the burgle. And I should have it there, but it's a little bit messy. And you're thinking, it's messy, why ain't you clean it? Well, you know what? I guess these things happen. So, all right, with the red lentils. Okay, so I'm going to close the top, let it boil. And then when it comes to a boil, it's just going to sit. Okay, for about, let's see. No, I'll just put it up here. So I know it's really awful that this is still there from when I cooked my soup. So that was the end. So, okay, hopefully it won't catch on fire. If not, then I got my fire extinguisher. So, okay, so we're going to let it cook. For about 5 minutes or until it's tender. And then we cut off the heat. We add in the burgle, cut off the heat, and just let it sit. So let me turn this on. All right. I am going to turn on the heat. All right. Now this is going to be on medium heat. All right. So let's see, where is it? This is my Syrian bread. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 shallots in here. Chop up the onions again. Boy, okay, I'm going to go back into the crying routine. So let's see here. And then we'll chop it up, saute it. Now, when you get out of Scientology, it's going to be a whole new world. And it's going to be the greatest world of all. Because you know what? You don't need to be stuck in there. They treat you like crap. So use the number I gave you earlier. The 2 numbers that NJR Aftermath Foundation at 0800-090-3372. And this is in the UK. The one here in the state is 1-888-FREE-002. So, and the Aftermath Foundation at 1727-265797. Now that aid, they have your aid, as I mentioned earlier in the show, waiting for you. So, and not just that they'll also help you find a job, and everything's going to be okay. Because guess what? A kid in the burger joint would make more money than you previously did. $47 is not enough to actually live off of. And I'm sorry, but those kids in the burger joint were making more money than you were. Sorry. I know it's rough. You want to believe something that's real, which is really fake. And it's horrible because guess what? I've been in there. I've had 3 fake relationships, and they led me to believe that I was in a relationship with them where all along it was a fantasy. I mean, I know it's rough to be having something to hope for, but didn't exist in the first place. Yes, it's rough, but guess what? You're going to be okay. All right. Yes, it's real bad, but things will get better. And if you want to get an education, the Aftermath Foundation will help you. Will the SPTV Foundation help you? If you ask, maybe he'll give it to you. Maybe Aaron will give it to you. Now, those foundations are there to help you, not hurt you. So here we go. And it's gonna have you're gonna have the most greatest thing ever when you come out of Scientology. Okay, so now I'm gonna saute this in. Oh, jeez. Parsley, cumin, salt. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna put in a tablespoon anyway. Okay. I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of olive oil. All right. And I'm giving you this recipe so you just so you could actually live off those recipes I give you, because guess what? If you eat out, it's going to cost you more today than you did yesterday. I mean, you could never have afford the food outside, and you can't afford it now because everything is just so expensive. It's awful. So there we go. So we're going to chop these up, put it in, and I'm also going to saute this in with the garlic. So let me see, how much garlic am I supposed to put in? Okay, so let's do it. It's not going to take too long. So I'm going to have it like on medium heat. So it's going to be on, let's see, 4.5. So chop this up. I'm really happy to actually give you all the information that I have given you. Now you're going to have the aid that you need. So when you get out, phone number there for you. Okay. All right. So there it is. Let me unplug this. Not going to need this again. So, right. Where's the spoon? Oh, yeah. Here it is. Right. And the food processor is more faster than you can chop it up. So it only takes 2 seconds. That's right, 2 seconds. So, all right. And guess what? My merch store is finally open for the affiliates. So it's all the affiliates on eBay. So all the links you see at the bottom of the page is all from eBay. So my store is open. But however, I'm still working on my bases to go online, and I will be selling it on eBay. So keep your eyes out. Am I finished? No, I still have a few more slots to get into. So, right. That's 3. Oh, wait. Yeah, 3 teaspoons of garlic. So here we go. Oh, wait. Okay. I'll just do this. And then 2 more of these. Can't believe this has happened. Oh! Oh, boy. This is the tablespoon. Oh, well. Sorry, everyone. But if you like garlic, hey, for all means, have it. I thought it was the half a teaspoon, but no, it's not. It's this one. So, but it's okay. It's all right, because guess what? If you like the garlic, then put as much as you want. Just don't stink. So here we go. Am I going to stink later? Oh, I don't know. So this is so far 3 tablespoons. So it's, boy. So, oops. So, all right. So we're going to stick all this in there and then saute it until it's brown. Okay. Okay. All righty. All right. Now we're going to saute this until it turns brown. Hopefully this will be boiled up by then, but who knows. So saute the onions. And then after I'm done with this, stick it in there, and then I'm going to put the bogle in there and then pull it aside and let it sit. I'm going to let it sit with the paper towel so moisture can go in. So, besides Giovanni Ribisi, you know Tom Cruise is in there, and little thingy. He's buddy with the head of that church or whatever it is they call it. John Travolta has been in there for 35 years. He's been in there since Welcome Back, Carter. And he's been on, of course, you know, with his talk. And I set aside how I felt about him and just saw the movie. So, I mean, I separated those two. And I separated the fact that Tom Cruise is going on a wild binge screaming at people. Yeah. In the past, I did. But at the same time, I love the movies about babies. It is so cute. Well, what a baby would think. And that would be in Look Who's Talking. Make my Syrian bread. And then, guess what I'm going to do? Now let it sit tomorrow. I'm going to let it rise, and then I'm going to put it in the oven tomorrow. So after you're done making the dough, put it in a warm place so it can rise. Now you can let it rise for 1 hour. But I think I'm going to wait up till tomorrow to make it. Nothing will seriously happen. But it won't hurt to let it sit overnight. No. Okay. Now this is all set to go into the red lentils. Turn off the heat. Okay. Now, usually, I'm a bit of a daredevil when it comes to food, and especially when I'm doing everything in front of you guys. I'm sort of keeping my fingers crossed and hope it works. I did succeed some of the time, but other times, yes, I flopped. But then I would actually go back, remake it with another one, and then improve it, and I did. It worked. All right. Now, I'm going to shut this off. No. Okay. Yeah, it's technically off. It's this. Okay. Alrighty, so. Now, the lentil that I'm cooking is really meant to be a side dish. But you can have it with Syrian bread like I'm baking today. And for this to boil up, and then we're going to stick in the bogle. Then as soon as that's boiled, I'm going to put it in, turn off the heat, put it aside, and let it seep together. So it'll still be in the hot water. Okay. All right. So, all right, come on. All right, so let me turn it up a little bit more. Be aided by Claire and Mark Hadley. And they think it's a good idea for somebody to have aid and the support to live on their own, because Scientology doesn't really care about people being out in the street homeless, because to them, that's their way of being punished, which is not right. And of course, Aaron was also a part of the Aftermath Foundation until he went on his own and started it. Now he's the president. He has his board members. Jenna is on it. So is Natalie. Serge was on it, but he resigned from being on the board. Okay, what's his reason? You know what? I don't know what the reason he has. Looks like it's going to be boiling forever. So, and okay, we're just going to, and yeah, these foundations are there to give you support when you leave, because some of you have their families that are stuck in there and of course, you know, Scientology won't let you see your family, which is not right, and hold them hostage, which is illegal. They have no right to do this. And the LAPD has no right to hand over their victims on them on a civil platter. So hopefully, and right now, as far as I know, according to William Good, they're not coming to their rescue anymore. And oh boy, from his mouth to God's ears, he actually said they're not going to their aid anymore. So, but not only half of them serve our best interest. The other half don't. Now, the reason why police officers are there is to serve the best interest of the public. Half of them don't. They're just doing whatever Scientology wants them to do. And it's because they're having those fundraisers for them. And they're really not supposed to take it, but they are. And at the same time, people that used to be on it said they're similar to the mafia. Well, in a way, a little bit, because the cult-like figure, the guru, seen upon as a god. Mafia boss is seen upon as a god. But however, it just stops right there. First of all, mafia wouldn't be caught dead with half the things Scientology does. First of all, you're not allowed to put your hands on another made man. You're supposed to keep a low profile. You can't snitch. And we all know Scientology has a snitch environment. And the mafia doesn't go around breaking up families. So, of course, Leah, not Leah Remini, the Leah that is on her own channel, said, quote, mafia does not go around breaking up families. Right there. She said it. And then when they get initiated into the mob, they know they enter by the gun and they leave by the gun. So, and they have their ceremonies, and then they cut their finger open, drip all over the artifacts or the holy cards, which is horrible. And then, yeah, devil's activity, excuse me. I promised YouTube I cut down my language theme, but yeah. That's what they do, the mafia. Now, Scientology does not have a ceremony like that. And no, they do the exact opposite of what Scientology does. They operate differently. So, to a point, it's similar but not quite. Both figures, the mafia kingpin or mafia boss and the cult guru, are seen upon as gods. I checked on that, and I actually got that from the sit down, which is right here on YouTube. So if you have any questions, go to Chris. And there's also another one. It's called The Round Table with Dominic Sicali. Of course, it's in one of my other information. I don't have it on this one. I don't know why. So go to the round table. And Dominic is always taking questions. So ask him anything. And there's also Michael Franzese, who also has his own YouTube channel. And there are other gangsters like Sammy Grovano. And I heard his daughter is a charm. And let's see. I mean, yeah, it's popping up. And according to Dominic Sicali, the mafia softened up a bit. But guess what? I would too if there are cameras and there are YouTube channels popping up all over the place. I'd go soft too if there are cameras everywhere. And this is in the streets. Because guess what? On the street, right above the traffic light, there's a camera. They take pictures of everything. So guess what? They did. Dominic Sicali just said it. He said, I quote, they softened up. I would too if there was a camera looking right at me, and if I was a criminal, yes. So all right. Now boil the lentil until there's like little less of it, not totally drained, because then it'll be burned to the crisp. So okay. All right, it's working. So then later I will be put your burgle in there. Now it was the whole packet, so I just dumped it. It was like a little bit left, so I just said, you know what? I'll just put it all there. It's like very little left, so I don't think I was gonna say anything about it. I washed my burgle, and then I'm gonna stick it in as soon as it boils up a storm. Okay, so I think that's the way my mother did it. I thought you're supposed to cook it off, but no, you don't. So as soon as it boils, cut off the water, mix it in, pull it to the side, let it set. And then we will start work on the dough tonight, and then we'll have it tomorrow. Well, I'll be baking it tomorrow. Am I going to cook brunch, or am I going to actually cook dinner. I will cook dinner, but I don't know if I'm going to have the brunch tomorrow, because every time I go shopping, I'm late with the stream. And of course, I'm like, just in case that happens, I actually will cook dinner, depending on what time my brother and sister-in-law are going to take me shopping. Who knows? So, still waiting to be boiled. All right. And yep, I actually am in the kitchen only 2 times a week, so I don't do too much cooking. So I just eat salads during the week and then pop a couple of things in the microwave. But yeah, it's really odd, isn't it? So, well, I really want to make my peanut butter tonight and then let it sit and rise. Usually it has to rise for about an hour. Oh, this is just amazing. Cook it up a little more until it disappears a bit. And then this is eaten as a side dish. So far I'm doing pretty good with no dead air. And now, I'm not repeating myself. Yay. And okay, so we'll stir this up. And this is the saucepan. So yes, you're supposed to use a saucepan when cooking the red lentils. Now this is a Turkish delicatessen. These two are Turkish delicatessens. So these are Turkish dishes. And of course, growing up, I always had both of them. This was my mother's favorite thing to make. And she knew I liked it, but didn't like the burgle. But she found a way to sneak it in there because is burgle good for you? You know what? I don't know. So, and I just have wonderful memories with my mother. I mean, she was always good at cooking desserts, cakes, and then she would just later wipe the whole thing clean. So me and my brother never had a chance to actually lick the bowl. There was literally nothing to lick. So she was just good at scraping out all the bowls and then and then I'm like, I wanted to lick the bowl, but she was just always good at it. Me, I just gotten pretty lousy, but she so unbelievable. It was funny. So, okay. And then after I let it sit for a little bit, while it sits for a bit, I am going to bake the bread. So I'm always looking for things to talk about. Oh, good. It's going to start to boil. All right. And then I'm just going to stick. Right. And then I'll take this. Now I'm going to start putting this in. Okay. And then I'm going to cut off the heat. Okay. And then let it warm up. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut off the heat. All right. There we go. Boy. All right. Now I'm going to cut off the heat. Yeah, it's really to the top. So there we go. So just going to cut off the heat for a bit. We're going to stir it up. Okay. Okay. Not going to cut off the heat yet. There's so much water in there. So I'm going to let it soak for a bit. All right. Yes, I'm supposed to actually cut off the heat, but I'm not doing it. So let it cook a bit. Some of the water has to disappear. All right. Everything spilled right over, so. All right, so we're gonna let it cook up until there's actually no water. Then I cut off the heat and then just let it soak in. Okay. All right. Okay, I put in each and every lentil that's in there. Okay. Now, as I told you, this is eaten as a side dish. And it looks like all the water has soaked up. And as a garnish, you put parsley on top. And then that's the end. Okay. Now, I'm going to put it in a serving dish if I can find one. Yeah, here's one. Yeah, I'm going to just use this because guess what? It's perfect. So, and yes, my apple crisp is gone. So now I'm going to just stick it in here. Okay. Of course, all these fabulous recipes are the greatest that my mother ever created. Of course. Now, I don't know if it's Armenian Turkish, but it is Middle Eastern. And I grew up believing it's Armenian, but on the internet it says it's Turkish. But, okay. It is just so great. All right. And as you know, I keep repeating myself saying, there are 3 orgs here in Ohio. So what am I going to do about them? Am I going to protest? Probably not, because it's not healthy for me to actually be in an environment in that one since I have bipolar. So now when you come out and you have mental illness and you finally admit it to yourself while you're coming out of Scientology, that is so great. You have nothing to be ashamed of when you come out believing that you're ill, because Scientology told you there is no such thing. Okay? But we all know everybody around you keeps dying because of mental illness. They committed suicide. And you saw, and Liz Gale mentioned time and time again that her brother died of suicide. And so now her parents really disown her, refuse to see their grandchildren. So I'm just going to stick this back on. Just a little bit more, and then I'm going to cut off the heat, let it sit. And then I think I'll pour the, I'm going to stir this up a little more. Oh, and this is just so great. I always loved my mother's lentil. Of course, I'm using the whole packet. When you use the packet, take off all the pieces that are light that has like this gold thing. Take out as much as you can with your fingers, toss it, and then you get the brown lentil. Okay. And it's a healthier dish to have. Okay. All right. Well, I did bring you good stories. All right. I might have put a little bit too much water in, so let me see here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put a little out and then turn off the heat, and then that'll be it. So let me do that. Just put in about the 3 cups in. No, 3 and 3 cups in. And if it, put the 3 cups, 3 and 2/3 cups in. In the case it gets too much, pour a little bit of it out and then have it sit. Turn off the heat, have it sit. I wasn't supposed to let it cook this long, so I figured, you know what, there's so much water in there, and the rest of everything else spilled right out. So just let it sit there. You know what? I'm too chicken to actually pour this directly into the casserole dish, but okay. But I keep saying, you know what? It soaked up plenty. So let me see here. All right, there it is, everyone. All right. It did, it worked. Okay. Turn this off. Show you what is accomplished. That's the lentil. And we're gonna let it cool off on the side. Yeah, I did turn it off, so I'm thinking, you know what? All right. Now, okay. Here. All right, Siri. Here we go. Found it in the leftover debris. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put in. Now I'm gonna put in the 1 2/3 teaspoon of yeast in lukewarm water. You know what? Let's make it a 1/2 cup. All right. I'm starting to think, well, maybe we should just put in yeah. We'll see. If it doesn't work out, guess what? I'll put in another 1/2 cup of water. So now keep filling your water and make sure it goes warm. And then we're gonna stick in the yeast. All right. Okay, so sitting there pretty good, and then I'm gonna dump it in a large bowl. And we're 1 hour and 23 minutes in, everybody. Boom. Yeah, I think that's where you get beer. there's yeast in beer. So it would technically, this ain't beer yeast, but it will foam up. Okay. That's a little. Okay. You know what? I'm feeling 2/3, so let's put it 2/3. All right. Now let's go with the. Yeah, let's go with maybe. Yeah, let's just go with 2/3. Now I got the eye for this, I think. Okay, so let's see here. Yeast. Okay. Warm water. Oh no, it's supposed to be 1 cup. Oh, okay. So we're gonna put in. Let's see. 1 teaspoon and 2/3. 1 and 2/3 teaspoon of yeast. So let's get the yeast. I think I'm supposed to warm up the milk, so all right. So it's supposed to be 1 cup. I'll use 1 teaspoon, 2/3. Let's see here. Okay, 1 teaspoon. Okay. And then 2/3. Okay, that's the thirds. Let's see if I can. Okay. All right. You know what? Okay. I'll just put in. Yeah, I'll just put in the 1/4. It won't kill it. Hopefully. So we'll let it sit in there. Put this away. Sanitize my hands. Yeah, usually you're supposed to wash it, but sanitation, no. I heard you're not supposed to cook while using this, but that's what I heard from one of my old employments. So, and then we're gonna put 1 cup of warm milk. So I'm gonna use plant-based. So, and then I'm gonna stick it in the microwave and see. Oh, geez. All right. So I'm just gonna put it in the microwave. Okay, there it is. So I'll cool off a little bit. So I'll just put in the ingredients. By the time I'm through putting in all the ingredients, it will be fine. So let's see, 3 cups. Let me just dry this off. Okay, so it's going to be 3 cups, 1/4 of flour. Let me get that. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, there it is. I was going to have no flour. So pull this over. Get the flour. All right. Okay. All righty. Here we go. Now, here's 1. Okay. 2, and 3. Now, there's 3 cups. All right, there we go. I'm gonna, and 1 1/4. Let's see here. Yeah. Here we go, the 1/4 right here. Okay, there. And then we're gonna put in activities. Look, 1/4 of salt, so we'll put that in. But if doctor says no salt, then don't put it in. Although maybe I shouldn't put salt in myself. And 1/3 teaspoon sugar. Let me get that. And the salt I put in is optional anyway, so I am going to cut back on the salt. So, then I'm going to get a whisk and then whisk it together. But if you have a sifter, use it by all means. But my sifter won't sniff, so all right. So now I don't feel like waiting for an hour today, so since I don't want to use my whisker, although I could have used that other thing, but you know what? What's done is done. So I'm going to whisk this together. And then the beauty part is, after I let it sit overnight or 1 hour, whatever you choose to do, I decided to bake it yesterday and just call it a day. Because I don't want to stay in the kitchen. First of all, I'm running out of things to talk about, and I don't want to wait another hour. So we will finally bake it tomorrow. You know it. All you that's out of Scientology and out of cults, you know all this recipe I decided to use my time in the kitchen to help aid you in this part of the survival task, because eventually you're going to have to eat. So, and I really want to help you put food on your table with these recipes, even though, I'm not in a position to help because I don't have much either. So I'm like, well, maybe this is the way I can do it, since I'm only in the kitchen about 2 times a week. I only cook 2 times a week, but I do put things in the oven. Okay. So I'm going to whisk this up. All right, this is working out pretty good. So it's really foaming. Okay, so there it is. It's warm. So I'm going to pour in the soy milk, but if you're not a vegan, I guess you can use it. So that's 1 cup. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for this, everyone. So there we are. Okay. Go. All right. Okay. I'm sorry about the dead silence. I'm just out of conversations to talk about. Okay. Now, you know what? I'm going to go on to another cult story. And maybe I'll go on to the Mormons. So, okay. Okay. All right. Now, oh boy, still some of them sticking. So I'll just. All righty. Am I into cooking? Well, not as much because every time I cook, it looks like my kitchen exploded. So I decided maybe I'll only do it 2 times a week, but eat my salads. So, okay. All right. Now I'm going to stir this around with this spoon. And then I'm going to take out the dough and then grease it with with the olive oil. So I'm going to spread it in with the olive oil. Of course, I'm going to rinse this off. Okay, so, okay. All right. And you know, everybody that's out of Scientology is telling their stories. Of course, Karen De La Cruz. And then her husband did it a little bit. You know him. He has his own YouTube channel, and it's called The Money Project. Of course, Karen De La Cruz also have her own YouTube channel. I say, you know what? Make your money. Go ahead. And of course, you know, Natalie has her own channel. And of course, there's Marilyn Honey with Coffee Cooks and Crafts. And of course, she wasn't in Scientology. She was in another cult, but she got out of that cult. Yay. That's great for her. And all right. Hopefully you guys got this. Okay. And then if it sticks a little bit, I'm just going to put just a smidgen of flour. Last time I got carried away, that's with the focaccia. And it ended up like being like a cardboard, to be honest. I'm not going to let you think it turned out right, but not right. So I'm going to try again another time. Okay. And the last time I made that, I made it with the chocolate chips. Chocolate chip pancakes. Great for kids, bad for adults. Okay. So, yeah, I'm trying to watch my language. So, okay. Now I'm going to stick in the active yeast. Okay. So, the yeast is already in there and it's activated. Okay, if it doesn't work out, then guess what? I'm going to grab a little bit more flour. Is it going to work out? Oh, probably not. Let's see here. I mean, the reason why I do is because I don't want to get hit with a copyright. I don't want to be held liable. So there it is. So I'm going to actually add a little bit more. So yeah, looks like it's going to need more flour, no way around it. So I'm just going to stir it up. I'm going to put a little bit more flour because it is damp, so I have to put more flour in. Okay. It looks like I'm going to put about 1/4 in there because it's really, really damp. There's a puddle in there, so I might as well. So, okay. 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 All right. Stir it around, and then after that, I'm cutting off. So I don't want to be on any longer. So, okay. Use my spatula to get it all. All right. Is it going to work? I hope so. So, okay. Now, I'm going to put a little bit more in so it doesn't be damp anymore. Okay. I'm going to let it rise. So, it's going to be a half. I'm going to put it so it's okay. Looks like it's going to be possibly 1 cup 2/3 because it was a little puddle in there. So, all right. So I'm going to stir this up again. So I had to do it again because it really made a puddle in there. So, am I good at making bread? Oh, no, because my focaccia turned into cardboard. So I'm going to try again. Okay. All right, so I got to put a little bit more in there since it's still damp. Oh, boy. All right, there we go. So I'm going to put in a little bit more flour in, and then I'm going to put it on a plate and put olive oil in there to aid it in rising. Possibly 4 cups, but yeah, if it go with the 3 2/3 of flour. If it turns out to be damp, then yeah, put a little more flour in there. That's what I was getting. So, all right. Yeah. Okay. It's a little damp. All right. Is it working out? Maybe. Let's see. Jenna's probably great at baking bread. Oh, she is the Martha Stewart of the former Scientology world. So I think she's probably going to do better than me. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'll admit it. All right. So Okay. All right. All right, it's working. So finally, it's not soaked to the nine anymore, and it will rise. All righty. I'm going to keep on kneading it until it's nice and smooth. And it's not as hard as the last time I made the bread. So, okay. Oh, I'm not finished yet. I still have to make my lentil burger. So, yeah, quite not there yet. So, and then I'll put it aside with a cloth covering it. And I still have to make the lentil burger, so that'll do it. All right. I thought I was going to cut off, but no, can't. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to rinse the bowl out. So I'm going to put this on a plate for now. See, there it is. Okay. Put it on a plate for now. Pour in this. And I'm going to rinse out the bowl. All right, here we go. Ready. All right, there we go. Now I got it washed. All right, there we are. And now I'm going to put the olive oil in so it can aid it in making that dough rise. So let me see how many teaspoons I should put in. Okay. And it is going to be authentic since my parents are from Turkey and we have this all the time. Of course, growing up, my mother always bought the bread instead of making it. So, olive oil. You know what? I'm probably going to put in 1 tablespoon. So let's, oh boy. Okay. And then I am going to spread it around. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, there we go. Close this up. So there's the 1 tablespoon. I'm just gonna rub this all around, and that'll be it. You guys, if you were here, literally my kitchen just exploded thanks to me. So it is a piece of work in this kitchen, let me tell you. All right, so I'm gonna oil all of this, put it around. Is it too much oil in there? I put in 1 tablespoon. So, all right, now I'm gonna stick the dough in there. Okay. All right, here we are. I'm gonna make it nice and smooth. Yep, I did it. I think it might have been better than the last time I baked the bread, which is focaccia. So I got lucky this time around. You know what? I am a bit of a daredevil when it comes to these things. I'm a real big risk taker. Now I'm going to stick it into the bowl with the olive oil so it can aid and not stick. And I'm going to put a cover over it. So, let me show you how I do it. Okay. Now I'm going to use the bunny. Okay, I'm going to cover it like this. Okay. So, and then I'm going to keep it in a warm place. Don't put it in a refrigerator because it's not going to work. All right. Now, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not quite there yet. So I'm thinking I'm done with reality. I'm not. I still got this. So, all right. So I'm going to take out the lentil burger. There. All right. This is in a saucepan. All right, I did it. It cooled off just a bit. Okay. And then after I'm done this together, I'm going to make it into a ball, or an oval. My mother always made ovals, so I'm going to make an oval out of it. Okay. Now, all right. Hopefully you guys are watching. Okay, I guess you guys are busy, so. Okay. I'm going to mix this around. While I'm mixing it up, I'm going to get it to cool off. And it's clunking. I'm giving it, it is. I mean, this is what I want it to clunk together. All right. Let me get a plate. Oh, I didn't put this in. So I almost forgot to put it in. Clumsy me. So. Alrighty. There we go. And then to garnish it, I'm going to put the parsley I have, which is really dried up, but is there a fresh one in the supermarket? If you got the fresh one, yeah, use it. Usually it's used for the topping as garnish. It's used as garnish. Stir this up. All right. You see it clumped together. And then I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator. All right. Okay, what am I going to make tomorrow? We'll all find out, because guess what? I don't know what I'm going to make until I actually, the day of streaming. So okay, let's see here. Parsley. Oh, I have to put in 1 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. Let me get it. Okay. All right. So here we go. Okay, 1 1/4. So here we go. And then I'm done. All right, let's see. Where's my 1/4? Ah, darn it. Oh, boy. All right. Well, you know what? I don't know where it is. So it's supposed to be the blue one. Huh. You know what? I'll just put, let's see, 2 of these, and this will be 1/4. So let's see here. 1. And then 2. Okay, there. All right. So then I'm going to mix it all up. I almost forgot to put the cumin in there. So, and then me cooking with herbs and then the spices. That's my favorite thing to do. Cook up the spices. So let's just cook it up. This is red lentil burger. Okay. All righty. And let's see, this is one recipe that the Middle Eastern turkey has, and it's been eaten by everybody in the Middle East, but more in Armenia probably, and it's the raw meat. So yeah, I'm like, nah, I was done with that years ago. So okay, all righty. All right, I did it. And it's done. Okay, and then we're going to add pepper, so 1/3. There it is. All right. All right. And then I'm going to put a 1/4 teaspoon. But you know what? I can't even find it, so I'm going to put half. Okay. You know what? I'm wondering if I should put in the salt because my blood pressure's up a little bit. So, all right. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, when you let it sit, make sure there's no water in there. If there's a little bit too much water, yeah, drain it, because you're supposed to let it sit. So until the water is soaked up. But if it's not soaked up yet, drain a little bit of it. All right. Okay. All right. Whew. Okay, I'm just going to sprinkle a little in. Okay, that should be it. All right. Now we're going to mix it up. Wow. So I got something to eat all week. All right. All right. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to put it in on a serving plate. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Yeah. All right. Okay. And guess what, everybody? I got the sermon plate from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? I got all of this. None of them went away, but my uncle has all their other plates that were left over when he married his wife and my aunt by marriage. Still left over, literally from the 60s. Go figure, huh? So, okay. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take this thing and then work it into a bowl. Into a... All right. And then I'm going to throw it in to the freezer to have it chilled so it'll be ready tomorrow. Okay. So it's not mushy like the last time. It turned out right this time. Not the last time that I had it. So. Okay. All right. And tomorrow, I will have more cult stories for you. Of course. And it worked out perfect. I'm loving this. And it's better than the last time I made it. Literally, it's great. Like literally serves. And we all know he was in Scientology when he was a child, along with Laura, Nora, Liz, and possibly the other Liz from London. She's also out of the closet like the other Liz and Nora. Oh my gosh, this is just so fabulous. So it's going in. Hopefully Well, it won't go on top, so. Now, am I going to have it with my bread that I make tomorrow? You know what? Possibly. Okay. Oh, this is just so great. I just love it. Okay, there we are. So it's, oh, mental is in there. So. Okay. And all right. Oh, sorry about today. When I run out of things to talk about, that happens. Okay. And you know what? I am trying so hard to work my way back into the meetings, but I'm having such a rough time. Now, I told him when I actually tried to get back that I'm trying to navigate my way back in, but I haven't heard a thing from them. Of course, not only I want to actually speak in the LA Commission Works meeting, Public Works meeting, I would like to see about getting the ones in Ohio, where I'll never tell. So. Oh, wow. This is working out pretty good. It's great. I am just loving it. All right. And then it's going to go into the fridge, like I said, to chill. Okay. I mean, the last time I did it, it was just a flop. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to try again. So I did. It worked out better. So, alrighty. Oh, the cumin flavor just comes right out. Okay. And this is the middle red lentil burger. Now, you know what? I can't imagine what those kids are feeling. Of course, they've been in it all their lives. And I'm thinking, you know what? Children should just be treated like children and not adults. And that's where the pedophiles are taking advantage of them. And there's nobody literally there to help him because they're not allowed to report it to law enforcement. So the parents are feeling like they're stuck. Now, if I was in their shoes, I would have just gone to the police anyway. Shame on Scientology. They are just so shame. L. Ron Hubbard was just so shameless. And L. Ron Hubbard, a bigamist, and he beat people up on a basis, had children chained up. Unbelievable. Poor Larry, that was the kid's name that he actually chained up. He's years older than I am, so he did that in the, I think somewhere in the 50s. Of course, I was born 20 years later. Okay. Oh boy. I am just so excited about this. It's better than the last time I made it. I'm comfortable with this now. So, okay. Now the next time, I have to do my monologue corner again, since I don't think it recorded properly. So I'm going to have to try it. I'm almost there. I am just in love with this thing. Okay. Now, some people make it into a ball, but I'm making it into like an oval shape. But if you want to make it into a ball, you can. I'm just making it into an oval shape because that's the way my mom used to do it. And of course, I wanted to pass on to Nisa. All right. I nearly forgot to put in the garlic and the onion. Unbelievable. So I'm thinking, oh, Nisa. Okay, so I'm definitely going to bring you that monologue again. It did not record, and it's still up on top. So I'm thinking it probably didn't record. So I'm going to do that again. Okay. Alrighty, here we are. Okay. I am so almost there. Now, since I changed the name, views went up a little bit, but the duration has to go on a little bit longer. So hopefully you guys, I hope you all tune in Monday when I redo the monologue, and I'll bring it to you at 4 o'clock. Of course, it's written, and plus this thing is on its last leg, and my brother had to put a parental control on it. Me, a 55-year-old woman, needs parental control. So I'm going to see what I'm going to do about it. All right. I mean, being here with all of you just makes me so happy, and I'm so thrilled that I am here with you guys. All right. Well, guess what? That does it for today. Yeah, I can put this in with this. All right. Guess what? All right. There we go. And now I will put on the kill switch. Now we're going to stick this in the refrigerator, chill till tomorrow, and then it'll be good for dinner or brunch. I'm going to see whether I'm going to cook brunch or dinner, so hang in there. Or maybe I'll do both. So, and I have very limited. Okay. All right. All right. So here we go. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. So, right there. Yeah, here it is right there. All right. So now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. All right. Now, this definitely has to chill. Okay. It's in there. And so, you want to contribute to my channel to keep my channel going, go to PayPal or buy me a coffee, even though I'm still working on buying me a coffee. I thought I got it in there, but I didn't. So I have to work on it a little bit more. And I also have a merch store with other products. And soon I will put my bases on the market on eBay. It is close to being done. So hit the like, press subscribe, subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.